Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Do the Talk podcast. It is your real estate podcast, where we explain, teach, educate regular people just like you and I how to invest in real estate. My name is Hamid Lawal. If you don't know, I am the host for today. My co-host is Ibrahim Ochenide. We are committed to be coming here every Friday live, bringing real estate gist, real estate education, real estate uh, tips and tricks. Yes, to you guys, just to make sure that you guys are educated, informed, and you can allow your money to work for you instead of you working for your money. By the way, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to put in the work and let it work for you. Give it time. There's delay gratification and all that in every investment, actually, not just real estate. So, Ibrahim, another Friday. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing well, and I'm feeling, you know, energetic because every Friday we have to come here and share our knowledge with our awesome audience, and we really appreciate you guys for always be there. We want to encourage you to do more, please, by sharing this with your friends, your partner, your coworker, your neighbors, your family, people around you. I mean, it is. We are dedicated and we always come every Friday. The little thing we want you to do for us, which is, it's free, it's easy to do. Please share this podcast with everyone. Sorry, we have a little glitch there, but it will join me shortly. So please share this podcast. We are very excited to be here today. So it's another Friday. Today we want to go over the career in real estate. Of course, we've said this before, Ahmed, that real estate is very large and huge. When you mention real estate, some people there it triggers just a single path in some people's brain, just one or two career. That's what I mean. Sorry, one or two sub career. That's what it goes to people's mind when you say real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate is like a nursing. When you say nursing, there are different angle. You can be a nurse and be not even talk to a patient. You might not you or you just deal with documentation, and you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to go to the bedside and treat patient and all that. It's similar to real estate. It's very huge, but few people know the different angle in real estate, or the different career, or different activity that you can participate when you are a real estate professional. So we are excited to break it down today and explain and kind of outline all the angle, all the paths that anyone can navigate and try to see if it's gonna work for that person. He or she. Real estate is for everyone. So we are excited to say that. I'm gonna start by just pointing out different angle that anyone who is interested in real estate might want to make a research and ask question about it and see if it's going to work for for you, regardless of your gender or your age and all that. So the first one I would like to go over is home inspector. Okay, so home inspector is a real estate professional because they are trained to inspect the property and look out for all the abnormalities. They test various function in the properties. They check the mechanics, they check electrical, HVAC, they check inside and out of the property, try to make sure what they can dictate, particularly any kind of defect that is going on in that house, so they can report it to the buyer, and but that buyer can, of course, um, may negotiate with those defect or request that the seller has to fix some of those damages if there's any. um, you know that way the buyer will not be stuck with a major or expensive repair unnecessarily. So if that person is aware, um, it's kind of help the whole process, not um, a surprise damage, or just because the person isn't informed or does not know how to figure out if something is wrong. So an home inspector is very important in real estate because they really help to help the buyers and the seller to find out anything that is wrong with the property. And not just the buyer that use home inspector, the seller, as a seller, you can, you know in, get a home inspector to inspect your property before you sell it. That way, if there's any major issues that you might run into while you list the property on the MLS, and you can get those issues fixed before the house is even listed. And by the time you're listing it, those big defects is corrected and everything's looking good. So you can look into that if you want to help people to discover any issue. Commercial real estate agent, that would be the second one. Of course, we all know about the regular real estate agent, which I belong, one of them. But commercial one is a little different because they deal with, apartment complexes. They deal with plazas, like shopping malls, um, high towers, like like all these big skyscrapers, and like shopping malls, like parks, like golf course. So they sell all these property that literally they are really for investment, um like companies, like warehouses and all that. Because so commercial real estate agent are those that help the seller to sell those kind of high big property, those commercial properties. The next one I want to talk about, leasing consultant. So leasing consultant, it's common in the society because their job, it's, or I should say this, normal real estate, sometimes real estate agent, they kind of get into leasing as well. They kind of put the two together, but leasing consultant, even property manager can be a leasing consultant. So that career, I think, is kind of, some people take it with them because they have the experience. And but a successful leasing consultant, usually they do it with something else, like maybe they're a big property manager company, and or a broker, so they mix it together. I've never seen, it's possible. I haven't really seen someone that come and say, I'm just a leasing consultant. Like, they kind of mix it together with other real estate profession. That way, that person is diverse, and he or she can provide a greater service, just because it's a comprehensive kind of thing. So real estate marketing specialist. Now this one is there, of course, and I'm working with one right now. So their job is really like, they learn how to market and how to promote real estate. Um, and big companies, like all these big companies, they use marketing specialists for real estate, just because these people are trained, and they know how to market real estate to get the max out of the property. And they will tell you the upgrade that you might have to do to get ahead and be able to make sufficient profit when you list your property. So that's a career you might want to look into, because you will be able to provide value for all these big companies. And at the end of the day, they can get huge revenue from the sale, which in turns you will get compensated very well. Another one is real estate project manager. um, One second here. So Ahmed,
Yeah.
Ahmed,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I have underground noise. Can you continue just one second? I need to.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Making some noise here.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead with my list, and we are going to come back to you when you are back. So really, there's a lot of career in real estate. A lot of people don't know this. When they hear real estate, what usually comes to our head, me included before now, is a house. But there are careers that you can venture into in real estate that doesn't even have to do with much of housing, like the one that I'm going to pick it up from the one that Ibrahim is talking about, real estate marketing specialist. Marketing is needed in anything. If you are selling Apple, if you don't have a good marketing strategy, there's no how you're going to sell it. So you do need a marketing strategy. I'm going to give you back to you, Ibrahim. I just want to chime in a little
No,
bit.
that's fine. You're good.
So you really need marketing in everything. So a lot of people study marketing, sales, and all that in school, and they are looking for huge company. And on the side, they want to go into real estate. They don't even know that you can bring that skill into real estate, because we have sales and marketing in real estate as well. Just like Ibrahim said, some bigger company like BlackRock, all these big, huge investor company, all these high-end, big
Mhm.
funding
Share out
companies.
that way.
Yeah, all these companies, if once they have a project coming on board, it's a team that is advertising, another person is doing sales, another person is doing capital raising. Everybody have their individual job. So marketing is a very huge one in real estate. On a very small scale, property manager kind of do marketing as well. But when you are like going high up, like all these big apartment companies, all these big builders, all these big developers, you need a marketer specialist. So Ibrahim, I'm just going to give you back to you so you can continue.
Thank you for passing that valuable knowledge. Really appreciate that. So, um, I stopped at the marketing special. Okay, so the next one is real estate photographer. So, just like taking pictures for normal people, real estate is kind of a little different, but you're still taking pictures, but you have to know how to the angles, how to make the picture look very attractive, and even though you are giving it the true tone, because at the end of the day, with real estate, you cannot, you are not allowed, excuse me, to put something where it is not it. Like if let's say if you stage a house with your camera, you have to really declare that it is staged digitally. So with real estate, you can make it brighter. However, you have to really indicate if you want to put something there, or you want to, you know, um, artificially create some other things in the house to make it attractive. Where am I going to? I'm saying it is similar to the normal picture you take, but you have to know the angles and how you present the whole thing so that it can be attractive and marketable for the seller. That way, the house can go fast on the market. So real estate photography is very common and it's very needed everywhere. I had to reach out to a company, like 3 months ago. Um, just because the one I tried, it didn't work for me, because that person is doing more of like a normal, like human photography. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but real estate photography, it's, you can really, be a specialist on that, and all you do is just take real estate picture. You can mix it with commercial and residential, and honestly, there's a demand for that. If you know how to take the picture and you can provide a quality one, a lot of people are looking for real estate photographer. The next one is real estate project manager. So, a project manager, it's really like, for example, let's say Walmart company wants to build a new Walmart. The project manager is the person that would get the master plan and calculate the total money that will, be needed to do the house, and he or she will be the one that will be on the floor observing that is the electrical delivered, is the plumbing delivered, is the electrical done, is plumbing done or not, what time everybody will finish their job. He'll be the person reporting to, the boss or somebody ahead of him. And so essentially this person's job is a very rewarding job because you don't necessarily have to dig the floor or dig the ground or anything. Your job is to coordinate everyone who is on that project and make sure they get the property done on time and they are efficient in what they are doing. So you get rewarded because I've met a property manager before for Walmart actually. That was 2019. In like it's towards the east side, like towards Shadeland. Then I was just what I was doing then. Actually, no, I lied. It was 2014. 14. Then I was still doing security guard because a year after I graduated from nursing school. Yeah, 2014. So I went there because I was a guard. So the company, Trinity Executive Services, it's a security guard company. So I work with them and I had to go to that Walmart and we just kind of survey everywhere. We do some surveillance, we patrol, we make sure nobody steal anything. So I met this man, he talked to me, he said he likes his job, he's not, he doesn't have to do anything but make sure everyone is doing their job, and he takes notes, whatever is delivered.
Ibrahim, can you hear me? I can't hear you again. Just keep going. I'm gonna see if this is on my hand. But I can't hear you from my hand. Uh, damn. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's really. I can. Hey guys, can you put the comments in the chat box, please, if you can hear Ibrahim? I don't think this is my mic is on, so I want to make sure it's not just me. Okay. Uh, Let me go out and come back in, if that helps. I'll be right back. You can keep going, Ibrahim. All right. It looks like the audio is kind of messing up today. We would like for you guys to help us by confirming if you can hear me or if you can hear Ibrahim. We want to make sure which mic is kind of having some issue right now. But if you guys can hear me, we just go ahead and pick it up from where Ibrahim left off. Um, so let me. I think it started up. It left off from real estate project manager. I am gonna just jump back to Okay. I am just going to go back to the top of the list, which is I'm going to start with the real estate agent. A real estate agent is a typical agent that we kind of interact with every day when we are buying our houses or selling our houses on the MLS. MLS is multiple listing services. Real estate agents, we have two categories. The first one is residential, and the other one is commercial. Ibrahim already explained what commercial real estate does for us earlier, where they deal with bigger apartments, units, deals with more deals with commercial centers. Uh, a typical real estate agent are for residential houses where you and I live. They help us buy house, sell house. And like Ibrahim mentioned earlier, some of them also go into leasing consultation, helping people finding houses. They help people buy house. So if you are selling your house and you need a smaller place or you need a larger place, they can help you. They can be a consultant on that end and help you find a new home. So real estate agents are very useful and needed in our market. 90% of transactions that happen in real estate go through real estate agents. The others, it might be between investor, commercial real estate, but the regular real estate agents uh, actively get involved in more than 90% of transactions that happen. Real estate appraiser is another professional that you can decide to choose to go into. Real estate appraiser, these are people that value real estate property. They evaluate real estate property based on numerous characteristics that uh, I know for a fact that residential real estate agents, real estate appraiser uses the comparable sales around the said property. Uh, the commercial appraiser are different, but those commercial appraiser, they basically appraise property based on the income revenue that the property is bringing in. But when it comes to residential appraiser, they use comps. We call it comps, but its full meaning is comparable sales around the said property. This is a very rewarding career to go into in real estate, because one of the hardest things to do is to determine the value of a property. It is easy when you know it, but it is very very hard. This Sometimes real estate agents can help determine the value of property as well, but they are people that specifically are meant for this job, and they are real estate appraiser. The next one for me is going to be property manager. You always see me talk about this every time. Real estate property manager are there when you've gone through Ibrahim. You've gone through appraiser, you've gone to your loan officer, you've done all the due diligence. Now the property is yours. You want to make money off this property. That is where I come in, making sure this is giving you the kind of return that you want. Real estate property manager, they make sure they manage the property very well. They manage your funds. They manage your accounting wise. They manage the property on how the property is performing, and also manage the tenants, manage the house, make sure whenever there's anything to be responded to in the house, these are the guys that show up and make sure that they are there for the tenants. You don't need to be stressed on everything that the tenants wants. These are the guys that are mentally ready to face tenants and make sure they get their need to them as early as possible, as well as getting you your return that you deserve. A lot of people, when they think about real estate, they think about 200, 300 that will be coming in every month, 500. You don't have you don't have to settle for that. You can make more money in real estate than getting 200 a month, 300 a month, 400 a month. Moving on to real estate investor. So real estate investor is anybody. Anybody. You don't need any license, a particular license or anything to be a real estate investor. As long as you are knowledgeable with what you do in real estate, as well as you use your money. It doesn't necessarily have to be your money. You use your money or you contribute to with your friends or your relative or the people that really trust you and believe in you, and you use that money to invest in real estate. So once you are actively buying, holding, selling real estate, you are a real estate investor. If you are buying your own house to live in, that doesn't make you a real estate investor. But if you are buying a house as an investment, selling a house as an investment, then you are a real estate investor. The next one is real estate attorney. I'm not going to say much about this. Everybody know what attorney is. They are the people that defend you when you get into trouble. However, people run into trouble in real estate as well. And even if you don't run into trouble, everyone need an attorney. Why? So attorney, their job is really simple but logical. They knows the rules, the do's and don'ts. They can keep you away from getting into trouble in the first place. These guys are college graduates, your typical I henners. But these guys, okay, Ibrahim, you welcome
Can you
back.
hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you now. So the real estate attorney are very helpful. They can help you when you are in trouble, but I highly recommend to get one, including myself. I think about it every day. Like, I need to get my own attorney. I need to get someone on my hand that will be advising me on all these things that I'm doing. So they, apart from getting you out of trouble, they prevent you from getting in that trouble in the first place if you have them early enough. So that is how crucial these guys are. At some point, once you invest in real estate and you are getting bigger and bigger, there's no way. These are We talk about team on our podcast before. These are people that needs to be on your team. Real estate attorney that are on standby. Whenever you call them, they respond to your call. So you need one on your team. Mortgage broker, loan officer. So even though I always say you don't need a whole lot of money to get into real estate, but you do need some money. That is a fact. You do need some money. And to buy all these, go outside there and buy all these big assets, you need a loan officer, a trustworthy loan officer, a loan officer that know what they are doing, the ones that will not screw you up, the ones that will not back up at the closing table. So loan officer are very, very crucial. You cannot do without a loan officer. You can, let me take that back. You can, but 9 out of 10, you will still need a loan officer. That is 90% out of 100. So that is pretty much still running up to 100. You're still going to need a loan officer of some sort. So a loan officer are the people that make sure you qualify for the house. You can pay for the rent. They determine your qualification to get a loan, to get a funding from bank. They determine your qualification to get a funding from private investors. If you are very well familiar with DSCR is a money from private investors, but they still have a loan officer that review your documents. That they have a loan officer that makes sure you are qualified and you can actually buy the property. You have the fund, you have the reserve, you have everything needed to actually, you have the down payment that is needed to buy a real estate. So you need some money of some sort. It might not be huge, but you need a loan officer. Another one is real estate analyst. Every Right now we are in a data driven generation. So to be able to get ahead and to be able to know where you need to buy, why you need to buy in that area, historically, these are the guys that can give you all the data that you need. Okay, if you buy here in the next 5 years, it is anticipated to do this. They use data to do all that. So that is where real estate analyst comes in. Like I said, you can be your own analyst by following the market and doing all that. But this is a job that all these big guys actually hire people to do for them. So if you are a computer savvy, if you are an analyst in a big firm, you want to go into real estate, you can actually use your skill. It is a transferable skill into real estate industry. So you remember we are talking about careers, possible pathways you can use to get to get your feet into real estate uh, industry. So this is a transferable skills from any industry to real estate. You just have to, just get the data and uh, get information, derive information from the data that you have. Real estate consultant. A lot of people can be a real estate consultant. Real estate agent can be a consultant. Property manager can be a consultant. Knowledgeable investor can be a consultant. Escrow officer can be a consultant. Consultant is a very big word, but it kind of come under the umbrella of all these other professions. So once you have a knowledge in a certain area in real estate, you can be a consultant in that field. Just make sure you are being careful about the information you give out. Don't Whatever you don't know, admit it and let the person know you don't know it. Don't just say things that are untrue. So, as a real estate consultant, it is a very delicate aspect. Another one that I want to add, which is the last one that I have, is real estate wholesalers. Just like real estate agents, wholesalers are the one that rejuvenate a dead or distressed neighborhood. So you can go to a neighborhood now that looks run down. In the next few 5 years, if wholesaler goes into that neighborhood, they can make it the hottest neighborhood in that city. So that is why I don't want to leave them out on this. Wholesalers are doing a great job. They bring off market. So their lead can be on market or off market. On market is a kind of a deal that's goes through MLS, goes through I believe Indianapolis MLS is MIBOR. I don't want to be correct me if I'm wrong, Ibrahim, but yeah. So these are deals that you can Google on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com because they are on market. The seller use a real estate agent or they decide they want to sell it themselves, they list it on this platform. It is possible. So the ones that doesn't show there but still get sold are through wholesalers. So earlier today, I work with an wholesaler. I take a client of mine. We go look at a house on 96, not 96th Street by a wholesaler. What they do is they go direct to the seller. They negotiate the price of the house. Then they add their own charges on it, and that is how they make money. Pretty much, some their work is similar to a real estate agent. The only difference is real estate agents already have a commission declared. These guys can come to you and negotiate $20, turn around and send it for $150. They don't have a boundary to what they can do. So it's a very cool area to go into. A lot of what is required to be an wholesaler is marketing and sales, and most especially sales. You need to be able to convince people. You need to be able to show them why they need to sell their house to you. So real estate wholesaler, I want to, I don't just want to leave them out. They deserve the credit as well. So Ibrahim, I know you I know you still have some more to go through. Do you want to finish that up. And I would like you to pick your best two, and I'm going to pick my best two as well. So get prepared for that one. Go ahead, Ibrahim. You are muted.
Okay, good. So I'm glad. I think this is fixed now. Sorry, guys, we were having little glitches, and hopefully this doesn't come up again. It doesn't come up again. So, um, I think I've done the real estate photographer. So the next one is the real estate um, office manager. So the real estate office manager is the person that really manage a brokerage. Most of the time, it's they they might not be the owner of the brokerage, but because it's a big brokerage, somebody has to manage it, and a managing broker, they are caught up with managing the agent. So a small company, you can be your managing broker, you can be your real estate manager, just because a small company. But a big company, usually you have um, the managing broker that manages the agent. But real estate manager, I mean, yeah, real estate office manager, you manage everyone, including the managing broker, because you are making sure um the payment receivable, payment payable, the credit balance, the transaction history, everything, supplies, everything is done well in that office. So you literally, your job is to make sure the office is running well, including the people that are running individual in that office. Whatever is in that office, your job is to make sure it's running efficiently. So it's a good field because with this, you don't necessarily have to be a realtor to do this. You just have to have some basic knowledge in real estate, and most importantly, you have to have a managerial skill. Like you have to show leadership. You have to be able to be there for people. People have to see the empathy in you. At the same time, people have to see the discipline in you. So that coordinating skills, that dedication, and empathy, that leadership, skills, flexibility, and all that. They want to see it in you, and you can do this kind of so if you have an MBA, masters in business administration, or even bachelor's in business administration, as long as you know how to, your day-to-day basic you know business, and how to manage office, if you know how to do that, you can definitely look into that field. And I believe it's rewarding. I don't know what they get every month or every year, but I believe it's a good career to explore. Escrow officer, that would be the excuse me that would be the next one. So escrow officer, most of the time, they are the one that close your transaction. Like if you go to the title company, most of the time they are the one that close the transaction. They call them escrow officer. um, I think the way real estate is, sometimes some people have like, they have like two titles, or two, their job, they are doing more than just one thing. How do I explain this? So um, an escrow officer can close your transaction. At the same time, they can also be like somebody that kind of assess the whole after the whole transaction is done, somebody that kind of assess it, and send it back to the mortgage company. Or you might actually not work in the title company, you might actually be working in the mortgage company office. So your job is to really oversee the escrows. And escrows, what is escrow? Escrows is the taxes and the insurance. So technically, you are overseeing taxes and insurance. You're making sure the client are paying their money, which is the buyers. They are paying their escrow, and their escrow is doing fine. The reason why somebody has to look is because escrow can go negative. And of course, if it goes negative, that means the buyer has to pay, kind of pay off that negative and make sure the escrow is balanced. That way, the next year the same thing won't repeat itself. So an escrow officer is the one who's gonna analyze and make sure everyone escrow is good in a good standing. If it's negative, they make sure you get it back to the um, positive. That way the same issue doesn't happen again, because um, it means unfortunately that person's mortgage will go up, and it can be it can create a shock, and they won't like that to continue, every year and year. So an escrow officer is the one that will make sure after the first error, no, not, I shouldn't say error, but after the first shortage. Shortage happens because most of the time for new properties, because when you buy a home, it is assessed for just the land when you first bought the home, if it's especially new construction. Now, the next year, when the city come to the neighborhood and assess your house, then your taxes will go up. And when your taxes go up, it means your escrow will be more expensive. So if you have not been paying extra money to your escrow, it means you will be short of escrow. And when you're short of escrow, it means it's negative. And when it's negative, your mortgage payment will go up drastically, because the escrow officer is making sure that you pay the negative, because the money that you are short, you pay that. And again, he or she has to make sure that you are not short again the next year. So because of that, they have to balance it. That's why some people mortgage is skyrocketed, just because they've not been paying extra into escrow. Now they have to, it's like they are paying double of that, what the escrow is supposed to be, just because the company wants to prevent it from happening. I mean, the mortgage company wants to prevent it from happening the next year. And so it's part of the job of an escrow officer. The next one is real estate IT specialist. So these people, I mean, it's really the way it sounds. IT, their job is really, you know, kind of using AI, using computer, using data to kind of see how things is going with real estate, see uh, what area is making good sales, what area the company may leverage on, what area, how many properties, like, what can I say? How many investment property in this location, or um, what are the new technology they can use so that payment can be easier for tenant, or for their customers. So they do various stuff. Your job, literally, you are working with a real estate company, and the company will actually dictate what kind of services they want you to do for them. But be rest assured, it's gonna relate to IT, because your job is the IT. And when we say IT, it might be data, it might be um, you know, looking at, most of the time is data, or creating software to make sure, or you might be at the back end where, when they make payment, you are securing the site, the website where the payment is coming in. You make sure there's no, anybody hacking it, and make sure the payment are going through, and their data, like credit card, social, all that information is being secured. So you can you'll be that IT person, but it depends on that company, depends on how big is the company. That will determine what area you might be working. But it's still gonna be, IT is also a broad kind of thing. It depends on where they need you, and you do it for them. So another one is title examiner and title agent. So usually these people, they don't really, sometimes they are the one that will sign, like make you sign the closing document, depending on how big is that office as well. But some of them, they don't have to do that. What they do, they are the one that will make sure those digits or those numbers are correct at the back end before they give it to the the escrow officer, or the person that will make you sign. The examiner, literally, their job is to make sure all those numbers are correct, to make sure the buyers is paying fair share, the seller is paying fair share. Um, the numbers are good, no eating fee or anything that is not in the contract. And so literally they are making sure the transaction is, um, as legit as much as it could be, and all the numbers are correct. Because even a cent cannot be unfairly added to the buyer or the seller. They have to make sure those digits, are in the right shape so everyone is treated fairly. So I think that ends the list on mine. And Med, would you like me to really point out my preference, or you want to go first?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
Let's do it. Let's do
of
it.
course, of course, I'll be biased a little bit. Of course, I'll mention, and this is what I love. I love real estate broker. That's one. Okay.
Okay.
Why do I love that? I love that because you know you are out there, try to help people, get them, help their dream home, get them a home, and make sure the American dream comes to reality. And you also are the one that
Hey, Ibrahim, can you hear me? If you can hear me, I can. You kind of frozen. All right. So we'll wait for Ibrahim to rejoin us. It's frozen right now.
okay,
Okay,
back.
welcome back.
Okay, sorry guys, we have a little glitch. Today is a glitch day. We agree, but we are so sorry. So, yeah, real estate broker, you are their fiduciary. You are able to build their, especially if you are a passionate person and you love your job, you're able to be there one on one with them, provide, valuable, help to them, make sure the American dream come to reality. If it's a seller, make sure they get the most for their property, because at the end of the day, they are looking up to you. And so if you really know what you're doing, it's a good career and it's very rewarding. I should say that it's very rewarding. Because if you like helping people, you'll see that happiness in them when they successfully get the key to their property. Now the
Yeah.
next one. If you ask me to pick which one will really put you, we always talk about financial freedom. We always talk about financial, like, time freedom. We always talk about be independent, this, that. You can be anything else in this list and you'll be happy, you'll be good. But if you really want to be financially independent, if you really want that a lot of time in your hand at the end of the day, if you do it right, real estate investor, if you become successful in it, dedicate your time to it, and you are successful in it, that is the angle that you get out to that financial, because any of this career, they can be a passive or active investor, but they have to be an investor to really get to that financial independence. Because let's say you are a loan officer, regardless of how much you make, if you don't turn into use that money to buy asset, the money is just gonna keep going, just keep spending it, or you keep it in your, maybe in your bank or whatever, and it's losing value. So where am I going? I'm saying you can be a passive investor, you are still an investor, which is you are doing your loan officer thing, you don't want to mess too much with it. Like, being an investor, you hire Ahmed is monitoring your property, is giving you good cash flow and everything. Technically you are still an investor, but you are a passive investor.
Yep.
So no matter how you look at it, I like being an investor because it is the path to get you to that financial, independent. And being an investor doesn't mean you have to be a real estate investor. But anybody that puts $10 into something for long term and hoping to get $15 in the future, or 20 or $30, you are an investor. So my answer is the second one is real estate investor. So what about you?
Ha. So I'm gonna say you cheat. You choose the one I'm going to choose. But anyway, I'm still gonna choose it anyway. So yeah, like you said, you are absolutely right. There's nothing wrong in being in other uh quadrants. I'm going to
Mhm.
use Rich Dad Poor Dad description right now, because you can still be an entrepreneur in all other areas as well. You can be an appraiser and be independent. You can be a loan officer and be independent. You can even be I've seen an independent escrow officer before. I met her and I'm like, oh, so you are a consultant to this company? And she's like, yeah. Whenever they want to close, that's when I come in. I don't work for them. I only, so you can be an entrepreneur in all this area as well. However, there's limit. Listen very carefully. There's limits to what you can do, but there's no limit to what your money can do for you. When you send your money out and it's bringing you huge return, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or more return, that is like infinity, which is what we and this podcast represent. You need to send your money out on an investment, a valuable investment, for it to come back to you. So, uh, yeah, closing attorney can be independent as well. There's all of these guys can be independent. So, but you need to be an investor. So I'm going to go for my number one is going to be real estate investor. The second one is actually what I am, what I do, and real estate manager, real estate property manager. I like that. This is stressful, so don't just think because Ahmed is doing it, you can do it too. I didn't say you can't do it. You can do anything you put your mind into, but it is really, really stressful. I am on the podcast and someone is testing me about internet not working. So it is really, really stressful. The problem that people don't want to deal with, that is what you deal with, and that is what you get paid for. Nobody wants to deal with that stress, but you have to choose to solve it, and that is what you get paid for. If you see it that way and you love it, then you can be a good and great property manager. So that would be my number, the
Two.
second, the second one for
Okay,
me.
that's good. Except for people need to understand that being a property manager is challenging, and they have to be ready to do more compensation. Like, instead of oh, you want to take this percentage, okay, they need to understand that it's more. It's not something easy. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not a property manager officially, but unofficially, I know how it is. So definitely a property manager, they do more than just posting your house on the internet and everything. So I'm not saying that to make you happy, but you know what I'm talking about. It's
yeah,
more than just posting your house on the, so, but people don't see that. All they see is that, oh, he helped me get tenants. Okay, before he helps you to get the tenant, how about that? Okay, after he got the tenant, how about the stress? You are in your house sleeping. This person is the one getting the calls and everything, and it's like you're taking their body and then you put it on yourself.
yeah,
So people need to do more and kind of understand that property manager, whatever that person is charging, it is still in a good, it's a fair game with whatever. In fact, it's not even fair, because I feel like what property manager is, facing out there, the challenges and everything, there's a room to get more compensation. So
yeah.
that's my point.
Absolutely. We're gonna bring it up there.
Yeah.
It's more, you compare the football that the coaches, the Ronaldos, all those guys play to the football they're playing right now. These the guys that are playing right now doesn't put their mind like those oldies, but they
Mm-hmm.
get paid more. So what I
Yeah.
used to say to people is you need to lay the foundation for other people to work on, and not being selfish. So I totally agree with your statement, and I thought about it every now and then. But what I used to think about is, showing people and making sure they are getting the return, because you and I agree that a lot of people are skeptical of real estate because they think they cannot get huge return, which you and I disagree. You can get a lot of return if you know what you are doing. Uh, really, you I just with my thinking right now is we are just laying the groundwork. Even this podcast is laying the groundwork because we're gonna have a lot of youngies, a lot of high energetic young guys and girls that is gonna be taking over the world very
I
soon from
believe that.
Indiana.
Yeah, I really believe that. Thank you so much. I really believe that. And I want to mention something real quick. I know we are out of time. So when you look at the revenue or the kind of income that people kind of associate with real estate, like as an real estate investment, I feel like people are not calculating it very well. People just look at the cash flow, what you get every month. They don't look at the overall picture. The reason why I said that, I filed my taxes yesterday. I extended my taxes and I filed it yesterday. You cannot believe there are a lot of loopholes in real estate, like
Yeah,
official, like legal loopholes in real estate. So these are the opportunity that you get when you have real estate investment.
yeah,
So I cannot stress it enough. Depreciation, cost segregation, um expenses write off. I mean, you have all this legit write off and everything. At the end of the day, somebody else is paying for your house. You
yeah,
own the property, but somebody else is paying for it.
yeah.
And you are able to write off, do all those write off. I've never seen any other investment. It might exist, but I don't know any other investment that has the same amount of write off like real estate.
No, it doesn't exist.
I haven't seen it. And on top of that, somebody is paying your debt.
And they are
Bro,
happy that you are investing, because if you are not investing, they are going to be struggling to find their
yeah,
house.
bro, you will not believe it. What my taxes look like after writing, like after really doing all the real estate loopholes. I'm like, wow, this is great. And somebody paying my debt. So anyway, one of our all-time greatest audience is saying closing attorney are independent as well. Yeah. Yeah, they are independent as well. I mean, it's a rewarding job as well. You have to, first of all, you have to be a normal attorney, then you go into real estate. So whoever wants to be, a real estate attorney, you have to go to law school and do the normal attorney kind of, classes and all that. Then you get into real estate and specialize in that. It's a specialty. It's not really like what you go and learn in school. You have to really learn the normal law first. So that's a good one. Thank you, D. um I think we've run out of time. Unfortunately, today we had a couple of glitches, but we apologize and we'll do better next week. Sometimes technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Ahmed, how can they reach out to you, if anyone wants to reach out to you, please?
If you want to reach out to me, you can reach me on 317-689-7075. You can chat me up on official Ahmed Lawal on Instagram and Ask You Property on TikTok. Just whatever you see me, just holler and tell me whatever you need, and we can link up and talk about your needs and resolve it as soon as possible. Ibrahim, how can people reach out to you if they need your
Yes,
services?
yes, thank you. It is IB Realtors. DM me, call me, 317-728-0213, or go to Instagram, TikTok, IB Realtors, Facebook. Just send me hello, tell me what you need, anything concerning real estate. That's what I do every day. I want to use Ahmed phrase, bread and butter.
All right,
That's my
guys.
bread and butter.
It's Yeah, I know. It's past 9. If you need to buy houses, call IB Realtors. By the way, you can go to ibrealtors.us to find your houses. All right.
That's a
Peace.
new